So, how do you establish a budget? Okay, it sounds basic for some, but for many out there, it's an area where many people struggle. So, we're going to talk about how you can establish a basic budget for yourself in today's training. Hey everyone, it's Mike Adams, and on this channel we empower individuals to achieve freedom through improved financial literacy and business ownership. If you're new to the channel, make sure to click subscribe, click the bell, so that way you get notified on any and all of our future training. So in today's video, guys, we're going to be discussing how to establish a basic budget for yourself. For your family and even for your business. Most business owners that I work with are okay when it comes to budgets, right? But some are not. And so I wanted to really break this down. Again, when we talk about budgeting, for some it's not the sexiest of subjects because it's like no one really wants to talk about the budget, and it sounds so boring to kind of have to balance this thing out every single month. But I got to tell you guys, when it comes to the cornerstone of using debt reduction strategies or the cornerstone of investing strategies, having a sound and solid monthly budget and a grasp of where your money is going on a monthly basis is incredibly important. So we're gonna make a couple of videos about this. And in this particular video, I just wanted to give you the basic breakdown of what you need to do to establish a budget. And this is really for those of you guys that are really struggling with gosh, how do I whittle this down, okay? And so, and again, the whole point of a budget is to create what's called positive cash flow. So that way you have something to either A, pay off your debt, or B, invest into something that can help you create additional positive cash flow. So that's the goal of any budget. Let's create some positive cash flow. So if you're someone that brings in, let's say you bring home every single month $4,000 worth of income, okay? Your goal is to have your expenses there. If you want positive cash flow, your expenses need to be less than that $4,000, okay? But let's say your budget's out of whack. Like so many folks in this country now are really just getting saddlebagged with debt. And what that means is that we have a negative cash flow scenario going on where we are racking up some debt. We have credit card bills, we have all these loans. We weren't able to pay cash for things, so we had to take on all these loans where we're paying a bunch of interest. And so a lot of people have a budget that's really out of whack. And so there's really two categories, okay? When you're thinking about how to make a budget for yourself, there's really two categories where you want to focus on putting things, okay? And you can write down everything you spend your money on in a month and draw a line right down the middle of a piece of paper and write the word needs and write the word wants, okay? Needs and wants. Guys, this is where we need to be honest, okay? And really, and I've worked with so many folks, and we've done a lot of strategy sessions since we've launched this channel, and talking to folks about how to establish a budget because they want to do velocity banking, but they have negative cash flow. And so we start talking about their budget, and they are literally bleeding money every single month in so many different areas. And what I've noticed and maybe this is a mindset thing, but many people struggle when it comes to the area of what's the difference between a need and a want when it comes to your budget, okay? So let's talk about what are some needs, okay? And when you're talking about your $4,000 coming in every single month, there are certain things that you need every single month. Number one is shelter, right? You need a roof over your head in some capacity. That's typically the number one. Number two is going to be food, right? You're going to need to eat. And then you're going to need other basic, necessities, okay? And, utilities, things like that. And so all of your needs, okay, put those on the needs side, okay? Then you have this list of wants, okay? And when you're really looking at your budget, you're going to notice that the need list, which is usually rent or your mortgage, those couple of items, maybe it's, you got your car loan there. Obviously you're going to have, your food there, because you need you need your car to be able to get to your job, stuff like that. So there's a few things, your needs are there, but your want list is going to be a lot longer than your need list, okay? And this is where you got to spend some time, okay, whittling this thing down. Because a lot of times people have things over in the need column that's actually just a want, okay? One example of that would be your Netflix, your Hulu, whatever TV streaming service of choice you're using. For some folks, they think that that's a need, right? Like, I need to have that, okay? But in reality, that is a want, right? You want to be able to veg out and watch TV, right? And you need to make a decision. Is your want to get out of debt and achieve financial freedom more important than your want to veg out and watch TV? If that's the case, clip that off your list and save that cash flow, right? Continue to look down that list. And the reason I bring up video streaming services is because a lot of times, guys, and if you really look at your budget, okay, maybe this is like a little ninja tip, is over time, we end up signing up for so many different services and little things here and there. That's 10 bucks here, 20 bucks there. And as you just start living life, you have kids, you have a family, you have a business, you're just out there working, you forget about a lot of these things that are just dinging your cards and dinging your monthly expenses every single month. If there's old gym memberships and old music streaming services and things like that you're just simply not using, that's on your want list there, get rid of them. You can take all that stuff, get rid of it, add it to your cash flow. From there, once you start getting closer to those things that are, gosh, I really like to do those things every single month, okay? From there, you just really gotta, again, ask yourself that gut check question. Is this thing that I want, okay, whatever it is that you're paying for every single month, okay, is that thing that I want more important than me achieving my financial goals, okay? So again, needs and wants, okay? Always make sure that you're covering your needs. Those are the things, those are your priorities, those are your mandatory expenses every single month. Your wants, be very careful with this list and never get this list confused with needs. Because everything over here, because in the end, right, well, if worse came to worse and you need to create positive cash flow today, everything on the want list could be eliminated, right? And you would still be able to survive without it. So just bear that in mind. When you're whittling your budget down and you're like, gosh, how do I make this cash flow? All this stuff could be gone. Everything on the want list could actually be gone and you'd still be able to survive, you and your family, just fine with everything on the need list, okay? So again, what could be done differently to transform some of these wants into maybe a less expensive want? Maybe there's a service that you're utilizing or paying for every single month that you just haven't shopped around to find an alternative that's less expensive. It gives you more bang for the buck. So there's a lot of things that you can do to, whittle down that wants list and still have a life. Okay, I'm not saying whittle down your wants list to where you have nothing that you want and all your money's going into your needs and you're not living life. Because if you're not living any kind of a life, you're just not gonna have any fun. If you're not having any fun, what you're doing isn't gonna, you're not gonna get that payoff that you really want of becoming debt free and getting to a point where you can achieve financial freedom and move towards investing, things like that. So you still want to live life, but what can you do to become a little bit more disciplined with your want list to make sure that that's not getting too bloated and exploding your budget, pushing you into a negative cash flow situation? So that's my brief advice on how to establish a budget. Start with the needs and wants, break that down, write down the list, and again, whittle down that wants list. I mean, your needs are your needs. Okay, but your wants are, again, just that. Those are just your wants. You want to whittle down that wants list as much as possible to the things that are really the most important to you and lead to you being your most productive self. Okay, if that want list is just, I want to have the max package on my Netflix and on my Hulu and on this and that, so that way I can watch every episode of whatever show you're watching, is that helping you go towards financial freedom? So needs versus wants, guys. Let's get that budget right. If you found value in this training, make sure to give it a comment, give it a like below. I will see you guys in the next video.